Several 2016 films are finally making their way here to Atlanta, so I'm trying to catch up on them as they get released. And two of them were released this weekend, so I'm seeing one today, one tomorrow. And the one I saw today, I thought I would enjoy the most. And depending on how I like the other one, I think I was mistaken because I didn't enjoy it very much at all. This is Jim Jarmusch's Paterson. Now, I'm a big Jarmusch fan. I've seen all of his narrative films, and I think I'm missing just the one documentary he did on Neil Young. But I saw the Stooges documentary he did earlier last year, and I've seen everything that he's done, basically. And I usually love him. There's a few of his films that I'm like on the fence about, and this goes on that latter side. I didn't hate it. I can't like on out and say I hated this movie, but I definitely didn't enjoy it. And there are parts of it that are great. There are a few sections that I just loved and I was totally moved by. There's a moment where he's sitting. So the main character is played by Adam Driver. He's a bus driver in Paterson, named Paterson, and he's a poet. Okay, and he likes William Carlos Williams, who was also from Paterson. So, the one thing that I loved was this moment where he's sitting with this little girl who was also a poet, and she shares his poetry, and they share this beautiful moment where they both enjoy Emily Dickinson, and it was nice. It was a great, like, real piece of, like, that couple of minute friends that you sometimes make that felt real, and it felt like a great little connection, and the kind of stuff that really makes Jarmusch great with these little conversations. Unfortunately, the bulk of the film was not like that, and just didn't work for me. It felt like a bunch of characters that didn't feel like real people for the most part, which is unfortunate because I feel like most of Jarmusch films, aside from the vampires felt like real people if they were like intellectual vampires. If that makes sense. But most of this film, no one felt real. And the end with there's a man coming from Japan who's also a poet, and they talk, but it really delved into like mystical Asian places that are just not okay anymore. It's gross, and it made me uncomfortable, and I was like, I know this is not what you're trying to do, and I've seen Ghost Dog, so I know that you're, a big fan of Eastern mysticism, but, like, it was gross. It felt gross. And then you have, I'm going to say her name wrong, Golshifteh Farahani, who is one of my favorite actresses. She's Iranian. She was in Chicken with Plums a few years ago. She's beautiful and just the most emotive face. Great actress. And her character is so annoying. And, like, I don't think the character is being patronized. I know there was some complaint that they felt like the film was patronizing towards her character. I don't think that criticism is fair. I do think this character is not well developed, and I don't feel like she really has much of a life outside of being there for the husband, which was unfortunate. And I feel like she has hobbies, but you never know, you never go past the surface of her. And I feel like most of the Paterson character is this emoting and this deeper level, and most of what you get from her is not that, and it's just really annoying. And there's things that are very Jarmuschian, like the black and white everywhere, and that felt very him, and I was okay with that because it's very him as a director. But the rest of what she got to do with her role was just like, there were moments where they're together, like every morning when they wake up. Those moments felt real, but everything else just felt so forced and just not good. Just not good. I don't know. I wish there were more moments that I liked than didn't like, but unfortunately there were more moments that I didn't like than did like. My favorite moment is when him and the little dog come across Method Man practicing some basically freestyle rap, but like, I guess it's not freestyle because he's practicing it, but it's freestyle style rap. And that poetry was great, and that was an amazing character. And he's sitting there like, or standing there watching his laundry in a laundromat practicing his art, and that was great. And if the whole movie had been really more about that, I would have really liked that. Like that character was interesting, but for a film sort of set in a place, so it's in Paterson, New Jersey, and they do mention Reuben Hurricane Carter like a little bit because there's kids on the bus talking about him. But for a movie, for a place that has so much racial history, to not like even to have the main character just be this really boring white dude felt it was hard for him to be my audience surrogate because I'm just like I don't care about this guy. I don't care. And like yes, it's interesting to see the writing process and how the poem starts in one place and then it gets to another place, but I don't know. And I did like that they showed so he's sort of very anti-technology and there's several moments that show that actually being anti-technology has downsides and that's nice to see sort of someone talk about that and be like analog is great and all, but sometimes your dog eats your homework. And that really happens. So you should prepare for that. But otherwise, I don't know. It was a little on the nose. It was good, but it was on the nose. I feel like there was one other thing that I liked, but now I can't remember what it was. Oh, the thing that makes is in almost all of Jarmusch's films is that beautiful sort of cityscapes where the camera just takes in the city, it takes in people in the city, and that was great. The moments on the bus were great. The moments where you're watching the bus go through the city were great. It's just all the moments with the characters that weren't great. Yeah. So I just definitely wish I liked this movie more than I did. Because with all the elements on paper, it seemed like a movie that I would really, really dig, and I just really didn't. So it's probably still floating around other cities too. If you like Jarmusch, check it out. Maybe you'll find more in it to love than I did. I know several people really loved it, and I just this was not a movie for me. So yes, this was Jim Jarmusch's Paterson. Not a movie for me.